Welcome back. Welcome back to AFTV. Welcome to full time. Yes, it is only the 8th game of the season. Yes, nothing was won today in terms of a title or anything like that. I do not care. I'm here to enjoy every minute because we've been battered 12 times by this lot in a row in the Premier League. Hell, I even had to enjoy the Community Shield more than I would most because it was Man City. But finally, in 90 minutes, Arsenal got, and let me get a crucial word in here, a deserved win. Deserved win against Man City. No, we didn't pepper them. No, we didn't have loads and loads of chances. But let me ask you, who looked more likely to get the goals in that game? Who looked more the aggressor? Who were the team that actually said, we want to win this game? That second half, apparently City didn't have a single shot on goal.
Finally, the Frank has come back to the fan zone, firstly. But finally, Arsenal have beaten Manchester City in the league in front of the millions and millions of Gunners watching worldwide. So I hope you know what I did there. Did you get the reference?
No.
The Frank, the Rock.
I'm
sure the chat got it. But listen, to get back into things, I could not be more proud of this team for what I've just seen. Because don't get me wrong, I don't think we played amazingly.
No.
But the fact that we was able to hold on, keep City quiet, I think they're still searching for Erling Haaland now. It's something that we haven't seen for a very long time.
Well, Rick with a comment says no Rodri and no KDB. Well,
so
no Haaland apparently, but that's not our problem if he didn't show up. Listen, we had no Saka, we had no Martinelli from the start. Partey could only play 15 minutes. So please spare us all that, right? Apparently, I'm actually going to fact check this now. After finishing second to Man City in the league, Arsenal actually still spent less than Man City on adding to their squad this season. So I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear any excuses. Arsenal today showed more heart, more work rate, more ambition than City. And actually, I thought City did some things good. I thought City pressed really well.
Yeah.
They made it hard for us to play through the lines. But Arsenal had to come up with other ways. Often it was finding Jesus at the back post. Often it was going long a few times. But we did a lot better than them, especially in that second half. First, I'll give it either way.
15 minutes.
First 5 minutes, City were much better than us. I mean, they could have been 1 or 2-0 up. Rest of the half, I think it's even. If it's a boxing match, you know, it's a split decision. Second half, though, it's funny. The boxing analogy is interesting because basically, if no one knocks the other out, you go to points. And I feel like Arsenal absolutely would have won this on the points. Like I think if this game ended 0-0, you don't get 3 points, you get a point, but people would have looked at it and gone, you know what, Arsenal, they neutralised City and they made it very difficult for them. And I'm so glad we actually have the goal and the win and the rightful 3 points.
No, absolutely. And obviously, this boxing analogy is great because we certainly took the fight to City today, especially in that second half. I believe we had more possession going in. Overall, maybe not as much, but in that second half, we certainly had the more possession. We limited this treble-winning Manchester City team to what, 5-6 shots all game?
Do you want the...
God, yeah, it's nice to receive the stats for once.
Here we go. So,
well, how many shots was it?
The full game, they had 4 shots.
4 shots.
4.
This is treble-winning Manchester City we are talking about.
And by the way,
and we limited them to 4 shots, James.
Yeah, and this is a big thing I want to say as well. Yeah, when they beat Fulham 5-1, and everyone was going, "Oh, they battered Fulham. We drew to them 2-2 the week before." I said that first half when Fulham got the equaliser, and you know they concede that goal that should never have stood. You know, the one where Kanji's offside from the Ake header.
Yep.
And I was saying that would have absolutely knocked it out of Fulham because already it's hard work against City. But then you concede a goal that should absolutely have never stood. City go ahead, having already Fulham pulled one back. But by half time, that goal that put them 2-1 up City was their 4th shot in that half. 4 shots in one half against Fulham. And everyone was going on about City imperious, 6 wins in a row. Well, it's 2 defeats in a row now. And they're going to be many people's favourites still to win the league.
Yeah.
I understand. But this is not a City side that have you in a stranglehold the way they have done in previous years. And so I thought if Arsenal can match them physically, can overwhelm them a little bit physically. I don't think we overwhelm them, but we definitely match them.
No, absolutely. And
we can create enough to win this.
100%. And like I said in my fan cam, obviously, be sure to check that out as well, guys. Normally, you go into this game, it's never really in our favour, and it's generally 3-4-0 Manchester City. That didn't at any moment look like that was going to happen. You know, apart from maybe those first 5-10 minutes, as you say, but apart from that, we really, held the line well. We obviously we didn't beat them in terms of possession, but
we won our duels.
And I think you had a lot of praise for Gabriel Jesus in that sense as well, in terms of the duels that he won right on that right hand side. Martinelli, when he came on, the energy that he showed. When Zinchenko would go forward, he would come back. Everyone to a man today, with maybe the exception of David Raya, I think.
Yeah.
Could be proud of their performance today.
Yeah, I still think Raya should be proud in terms
Absolutely.
of... Yeah, but I know what you mean. Like, he was the one that felt that he was probably below par, or what we'd expect.
But ultimately, the job of a goalkeeper is to not concede goals.
Yeah.
He didn't concede a goal.
I completely agree. Now, here's some second half stats for you. 7 shots for Arsenal to Man City's 1. 1 shot in 45 minutes.
45 minutes. See this smile, guys. This ain't going away anytime soon.
They completed fewer passes. They almost had half our attacking third passes. More take-ons, though. Less crosses. Less tackles. So even though they're doing more defending, less tackles. Beat us just on interceptions. Arsenal neutralised them massively. And by the way, I was right. According to Transfermarkt, Arsenal spend this summer 235 million euros. 234.94 to be absolutely precise. Man City spent 241.1. So they spent more on a treble winning team. I don't want to hear an excuse. No KDB.
No.
Oh, no Rodri. Well,
no,
we
Saka.
tell Rodri to strangle a player?
No.
It's not our problem. Saka out, Martinelli out, Partey out. Martinelli gets the most. It's funny because everyone thought Partey and Saka would be okay to play. But Martinelli, the people were shocked when I had him in my 11, got the second 45. I'm delighted he did. Thomas Partey could only get the last 15. Saka didn't even make the matchday squad. Confirmed by Arteta, by the way. He will not be away with England. Fantastic news.
Oh, it's music to my ears.
The other two I want to give credit to. Major credit to. Oh, some news has just come out. I don't know how accurate this is, but apparently Saliba won't join the French national team as he was carrying an injury for the City game. Let's keep an eye on that.
Just to go back to that, you're telling me Saliba was carrying an injury,
and
still played like that.
And they were the two I wanted to mention. Saliba and Gabriel were absolutely immense today.
I think everyone in that back
Rice was immense. Jorginho, I thought, did very well considering he was on a yellow. Kept things moving. I thought Partey, when he came on, superb. Ben White, Zinchenko inverting, going outside tactically, very good. Did his one-on-one defending against Doku on the 1 or 2 occasions very well as well. Gabriel Jesus, influencing that game from the right wing superbly. I'm so proud of this team because of tactically brilliant, defensively resolute, brave going forward. Not as brave as I thought they'd be, but still, they were clever. They picked their moments at the right time. But the biggest thing was the work rate. They absolutely ran City off the pitch. Apparently got 4,000 watching, I've just been told. So I'm quiet for a sec. 4,000 of you watching. Go hit the like button. Guys, join us on FANZONE. Let's take our first callers because we don't want to waste any more time. We want to hear from all of you. It's very easy, by the way. Download AFTV Plus. Just download... sorry. I'm making a whole lot of no sense. Download the AFTV Plus app on the App Store and on iOS devices and on the Google Play Store. Let's just take some callers. Download it. It's free to do. Just download it.
Get the app, guys.
We've got our first call from Australia. Hi, what's your name, my friend?
Liam.
I
joined you guys.
I was going to say.
After the Champions League game of PSV, I'd come on. It is 5 a.m. It is 5 a.m. Been up all night, but it is so worth it tonight. So
and I feel like you're not going to bed at any time soon. I feel like
no. No sleep for a while. I can promise that. I'll tell you what. I want to give a viewpoint, although the energy is going to be high from everyone, which I probably would have given had the score stayed 0-0. And I think regardless of the fact that we've scored the winner in the 86th minute, and obviously we have all the elation that comes with that. Arsenal's given an incredibly mature performance today. I think in the first 10 minutes, we were potentially a little bit rattled. We had to find our feet. But from that point on, the arm wrestle of a game that was today, there's also something to be said. The respect that City showed Arsenal today, we have to give credit to where we've come to now under Mikel Arteta and just be excited and lap it up.
I could not agree with you more. I couldn't agree more. we beat we beat Liverpool 2-1 in lockdown. Do you remember? It was a Reece Nelson goal, and they'd already won the league, and the only thing we really did was deny them the 100 points. And Arteta said in that post-match, he said, "Oh, do you feel like you're closing the gap?" He said, No. We are still miles from them. The only way we're going to close the gap is by spending money, investing on the squad, working really, really hard. Liverpool came to the Emirates and lost last year, 3-2. We went to Anfield, played them off the park for 30 minutes, and then it changed. The momentum swung, but still came out with a point. City had our number last year, a 8-2 aggregate. Yeah, 8-2 aggregate if you include the FA Cup game.
Yeah.
But now we're 2-1 on aggregate if you include the Community Shield, a game that they wanted to win. Don't let them tell you any other way. And it's back-to-back, wins. Okay, it was 1-1 after 90 at the Community Shield, but it's back-to-back.
Still a win.
Wins, feel-good moments, getting over the line. And I'm so proud of the team that they've shown City will come toe-to-toe with you.
And we've spoken a lot about, I think there's been an over panic in my opinion of we haven't been as fluid so far this season. To me, a big part of that is Thomas Partey is one of the most underrated passers, I think, in the Premier League. His ability to distribute the ball and the fluidity it gives us when he's playing in the middle. I'll be honest, a midfield of him, Rice and Odegaard looks scary. It looks scary if Arteta backs that midfield trio. And also, Martinelli is an elite carrier of the ball. So we've missed two really key parts for the start of our season. So I think the position we're in early on, we were never going to start the way we did last year. Last year it all came together at the same time. It was a young team. We got this kind of like feel-good factor and energy at the start of the season, and it was electric. This year's it's a different thing. We're going for the title. I think more teams know we're going for the title. It's going to be, it might be more hard fought in some games, but I think we need to be really happy, I think, with the way we started the season going into the second international break, and obviously today is awesome.
I agree. I think this team are thinking more about the 38-game marathon and all the other comps more than they're thinking about just, let's just smother this team and win and enjoy the 3 points. Liam, I just want to ask you one final question before we go to our next caller. Do you think we're going to win the league? It's very early.
We're going to win the league.
I love that.
I think we're going to win the league this season, and it's not because necessarily of even a 1-0 winner from Martinelli. I would have said the same thing if we'd drawn today's game. I just have a feeling that the backbone of the squad now. I was on AFTV actually 4 years ago when we lost 1-0 away at West Ham. I was a little young kid, and I'd come all the way, and I'd be like, this team, it just gets bullied so easily. Emery was in charge. The goal scorer and winner of that game was Declan Rice. And we now have him bossing our midfield. I think Saliba and Gabriel, I think Saliba is going up levels again this season. I actually think it's very early, but I have faith in Mikel, and I'm fully on board. I know we're going to have bad results like Lons, but I'm there, lads. We're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I predicted the start. I'm only more confident now. Liam, thank you so much.
Thank you, Liam.
Please, have a good one.
Thank you, and you. Let's go our next caller straight into it. Who have we got? It's only Mr. Dean himself.
Come on, boys.
Yes, Deanie.
The Frank, the James. Can I just play something for you lot very quickly? It's 25 seconds. But
Wait. Is it copyrighted? Are we going to get copyright?
It's not copyrighted. It's actually AFTV.
Oh, all right. Okay. Well,
Copyright yourself.
You never know. They might end up suing themselves. Go on.
Listen.
We want to go into the international break on a loss. So I'm just going to say that. We need to win on Sunday. I don't want to be stewing over a loss against City and all of that, everything else that comes after that, the meltdown and everything else like that. I'm not going to say too much because I may need to go. But yeah, we do need to win. I'm going to predict a 1-0 win. It's going to be a very tight game. It's going to be very, very knocking. I'm going to say 1-0.
I'm going to start calling him Houdini. That's magic.
If you must.
Houdini.
I thought that was me.
No, that's me.
No, I'm joking.
You little cheeky. No, honestly, you know what? Everything you lot have been saying about, we can be very proud of this performance because what Liam, he just said, it was a very, very professional performance, and we can be very happy with that. Absolutely. Everything around Saka coming into this game and then him not even starting the game, it's like, where are we going to go? I was to be fair, actually, no, I wasn't slightly defeated because I didn't think Saka would start this game. All that PR about he's in the squad and he might be in contention, this, that, and the other. I don't really listen to that anymore because from when Arteta, all this rotation about Ramsdale and Raya, I don't really believe what he says anymore, whatever comes out anymore. Whatever happens on the day will happen on the day. And what happened today was, I mean, in the first 5 minutes, we did get lucky. We did get very lucky. If Ake is a bit more calmer, it could have went completely left. It could have been completely left for Raya as well, who started the game very, very nervy. But we can be happy right now. This game doesn't confirm that we're going to win the league, but it's a win for this. It's a win for this. A
mental
big win for this. Mental win. And now we can actually take this international break, knowing that, fingers crossed, that Martinez will be fully fit by the time we come back. Partey's got that time now. Saliba, he's got whatever it is, he's not going to France. So he's going to be there. Saka's going to have his rest.
That's been confirmed by the French national team. Saliba's not going to Todibo, replace him in the squad.
Whew. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, as long as he's okay. As long as he's okay.
Yeah. As long as he's okay, but it's absolutely brilliant. Because I looked at our running after the after the international break. We've got 5 away games. I think we go away to Newcastle, Villa, Brentford, Luton.
I'll give them to you in order. Chelsea away first, Sevilla away in the Champions League, Sheffield United at home, West Ham away in the Cup, Newcastle away, Sevilla at home, Burnley at home. It's not a horrendous run, but it's like far from ideal.
It's not bad at all, and I feel like now this team is, I think you literally just said it, now we're not trying to blow teams away, it's about more control, and we're trying to be more direct and thinking more about when we're playing our passes and trying to get to win. And I feel like we can actually be happy. We can actually be very, very happy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't really have much more to say, really. I'm just happy. I'm happy right now. We've done it. We
Love
can
to see
go forward, and hopefully whatever happens with this league, we'll see what happens. Absolutely.
Dini, go be happy. Go enjoy it.
I'm gonna go be happy. I got my pieces right here. I'm gonna watch the rest of the stream. It's all good, bro.
Well, what a night. Go enjoy it, my friend. In a bit.
Take care.
In a bit. Yeah, I echo so much of what he was saying there. It's such a psychological win for Arsenal.
Absolutely.
I said it before, nothing was decided, win, lose or draw today. But psychologically, you can't win a league if you can't beat
the teams that you're competing with.
Ever.
Yeah.
Like if there's one team in the league you never beat.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it's the team that keep winning the league, how are you ever going to believe, like, genuinely, like, over 38 games we're better than these guys?
And the thing is, like, we've proven we can do it.
Yeah.
You know? Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder when we go to the Etihad. You'd like to think, oh no, I'm not saying you'd like to think, but you think it'll be a lot harder when we go to the Etihad. But we've proved it's not impossible.
I agree. Benjamin says nobody's even mentioned that we kept a clean sheet at home. Benjamin,
oh yeah,
we kept a clean sheet at home. I honestly thought Tottenham were better at the Emirates than Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely, I thought they caused us more problems and played better football. But look, maybe that's credit to how we tactically approach this differently. Or there's an interesting debate for Tottenham fans to be had there. But listen, I won't be fueling that. Let's get our next caller. Who's joining us? Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Jake, what's up?
Jake, great name. Very good. How are you? I say it's a great name because it's close to James.
Fair play.
Yeah. I know, that's kind of the most style. Yeah. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm over the moon. Absolutely, guys. I'm pumped. As we all. I think that we need to mention Mikel Arteta today. I have my own channel. It's called The Cup Chasers, and I've been kind of critical about Mikel Arteta and some of the decisions he's made. But you can see that he trusted his tactics. He trusted his game plan. And the fact that he wanted to approach this game and try to control it. No one has beaten Man City in this manner in recent memory. You look at last week, and Wolves countered quickly. They pounced on mistakes. It was more of a basketball match. This game was about control. It was about territory. It was about moving up the pitch, back and forth. And I think that the way he was able to tell Raya to hit Jesus instead of trying to every time play out of the press, because let's face it, Man City's press today was phenomenal. Yeah. And so was ours. That was the definition of the game. It was both presses were absolutely incredible. Yeah, and that's why a lot of people are thinking, man, this was kind of a, from the neutral, people are like, well, it's kind of a stalemate, kind of a nothing game. I got the match stats up here. We had 2 shots on target. They had 1. So from a neutral standpoint, sure, it looks kind of, but from a tactical battle, what a match.
Well, it was two chess masters at play, wasn't it? Going, because what did you notice the way every sub was made at very different times? So Arteta with the first move, Martinelli on. And then Guardiola recognises that in that first 15 minutes, they've struggled to get Arsenal started a lot brighter with Martinelli coming on, whatever. And then he makes the first move, bringing on Stones, Doku for some pace to finally sort of give them a different outlet. And then who's the other one?
Nunes, I'm sure.
Nunes, for some drive in midfield because they were losing that battle physically. They then have the next 10 to 12 minutes because it was around minute 73 that Arteta then goes, all right, Tomiyasu, because we've got to counter the Doku threat, whichever side he goes. Partey, because we need the legs again to compete with the fact Nunes has come in. And then the other change he made was Havertz up top because we needed to actually start going long because they got legs back in midfield and the press was difficult to overcome again. Fascinating, so fascinating the way they kept plotting and chopping and changing for each other.
I thought that maybe the subs came a touch late.
I agree.
But
yeah,
you could see that Eddie Nketiah was getting tired. So Ruben Diaz started to notice how we would give him space and he was taking it, getting further and further, just a little bit up the pitch, and Eddie wasn't stepping. You could see Martin Odegaard waving at him, go, go, go. And then came the subs, totally worked that out. Mikel Arteta saw it as well, and we got to give Havertz his credit. Everyone has been flagging him off, me included. You can go back on my channel and see. I've been very harsh, but he comes on for his best 14 minutes in an Arsenal shirt. 3-4 great touches, the assist. We got to give it to him. Fantastic from everybody. Love it. I'm pumped. Very excited.
Just so you know, all the commotion at the end of the game was between Nicholas Yova and Carl Walker. Nicholas Yova, the Arsenal set-piece coach.
Right. I don't even know what happened. I saw that Haaland was about to call down lightning on somebody, but...
I don't know. I mean,
pushing and shoving. I think Kyle Walker's
Foden and White shook hands after, but there was a load of something else going on, and then the Arsenal staff had to walk them off the pitch. Listen, City showed more in that couple minutes at the end than they did across the whole 90, bar the first 5. They absolutely were toothless. They weren't getting involved. They didn't match Arsenal physically. The only thing I'll give City credit for, they pressed really well. They had a really good off-the-ball shape that made it difficult for us to play through. Other than that, they showed no invention. They showed no real kind of heart. They didn't look like they understood how big the game is. This is City. Of course they understand. But, I don't know, call it a treble hangover, call it neutralised by Arsenal, call it what you want. They were crap.
Yeah,
they were crap. City were crap. I'm sure City fans will tell you, I'm not having a pop here, they're the treble winners, they're going to win something this season and they're going to win most of it.
Arguably
they were shit today.
I mean, we clogged the passing lanes. You got to give us credit for that.
I give us credit for them being shit, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, you were brilliant. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Go enjoy the win. Who's our next caller?
There we go.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
How are you, my friend?
Beautiful and
Wonderful.
sunny.
A few things. I think in all the moaning about Saka's injury that people forgot that Martinelli and Partey are coming back into fitness. And we missed them.
Sorry, just
getting
that out there. Go on, Michael.
Okay.
Carry on.
Second thing, I think that we finally found Havertz's correct position. That if all he's good for is a backwards 3 yards pass, if you put him in a number 9, that becomes an assist.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
It is a fair point. I mean, personally, going forward, I'm not necessarily a fan of the work rate that he shows in that position, but I understand.
He wins his duels, he wins headers, he runs the channels.
The person that I want to see there is a Gabriel Jesus type, the person that will come in the middle. And he's got all the technical ability and stuff like that. I don't see
Jesus up front in that last 14.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have done anything different to what Havertz did, in my opinion.
I mean, generally, the person that I want to see in the middle is someone that's going to come, going to get involved in the play, and that's the reason I don't feel that Eddie Nketiah works very well in this tactical system, whatever you want to call it, because he's not the kind of striker that can, you're not technically gifted like Gabriel Jesus is. Eddie Nketiah is very much a on the last man running behind sort of defender. If you play a low block, it doesn't ever work.
Yeah. Go on, Michael,
Okay.
take it away.
I also want to say I really like discovering Tomiyasu's offensive ability. That we think of him as a purely defensive replacement, and it's only Ben White or Zinchenko who we think of as getting forward. But in the last few games, it's really been Tomiyasu who's coming in to push things forward into the midfield, and I that contributed to the goal today.
Yeah.
So finally, old men forget, yet all shall be forgot, but we'll remember with advantages what feats we did that day. Then shall their names familiar in our mouth as household words. Arteta the boss, Declan, Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, Saliba, and Gabriel. The providential assist off Ake's face be in our flowing cups, freshly remembered.
I can't believe Shakespeare saw all that all those years ago. Fair play to him. Fair play. I mean, that is someone's got to look into
Tactical
that.
genius from William
for us.
Shakespeare there.
Mate, in a bit, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
We go through some super chats and
that's
comments.
hilarious.
Farhan has said, we've got to give some credit to Gabriel, and I couldn't agree, because Saliba will get all the plaudits, and rightly so. Gabriel was as good, if not better, today in terms of that clearance where he reaches his boot really up high. Some of those interceptions when he got in the walls. And every player played with a maturity and a calmness. And that Kovacic moment could have rattled them, Arsenal. Could have absolutely rattled them. Oh, and by the way, the PGMOL, like on my fan cam, you will get to your time. Don't worry. Laurie will join me for that bit. He's going to join us in a couple of minutes. But how great was Gabriel?
Gabriel, that's all I can say. Do you know what? I don't want to just put it on those two, because that entire back line today, and even the players who came on in that back line, Tomiyasu, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know he had that offensive ability. You know, I think Michael just said it.
Well, can I just interrupt you on that?
Yeah.
Football is so funny in the way we've seen attackers move deeper to accommodate for the fact that teams want to play through. So you get Jesus as a false nine, Firmino's a 10 playing as a false nine, so the striker's coming back. You've had ball playing defenders where they might not be the best defenders, but they're really good on the ball, and offensively they help you play through. But we've also seen the opposite, where especially managers like Guardiola and Arteta have wanted players that help control transition. So Tomiyasu, and this is why I keep asking for Rice in the 8, and look what happened when he played in the 8, by the way.
Shock.
You want your most athletic, you're almost battering ram players to give you that drive up the pitch, but also to sustain pressure, because Tomiyasu came on against Man United 1-1, we needed a goal, and kept them pinned in. They couldn't get out. Why? Because we were defending so much higher up the pitch. And I just love the way in football it's flipped. The script is flipped, and now you almost want those players like Tomiyasu late in games to try chase a goal, because he allows you to maintain control, because he's so physically dominant and intelligent.
No, absolutely. And the thing is that combination down that left-hand side today, both substitutions, funny enough as well, of Tomiyasu and Gabriel Martinelli, the way those two work together is unreal. You know, if Tomiyasu goes forward, you just knew that Gabriel Martinelli was already filling his space. If it was the other way, you know, if the roles were flipped, you already know that combination together is fantastic. And I think going forward after the international break, we need to see a lot more of Martinelli, Tomiyasu down the left-hand side. Yeah,
completely and utterly agree. We're going to go, actually, no, I said we're going to go next caller. Sorry, apologies. I know you're all waiting. We'll get you any second. Let me just read out these super chats. Ibby says, 8 years. Let's enjoy this. All season at home. What have we all said? Our concentration drops. We have mistakes. Our concentration levels were top notch. I agree, Ibby. Spot on. Maya in the Turkish says, I won't be surprised if I see a same foul on us and Xhaka gets a 2-game ban in Germany. Disgrace. Miles says, Rice went up a level today. He's shown he can be a big game player. Great result. I agree.
I mean, Declan Rice
has
been showing that since he joined.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's put in a single performance below a 7.
I agree. Sneaks with a super chat. Thank you very much. And Sayram says, this was due and coming. We learnt from past experiences and fully deserved. They came close in Jan till Xhaka's red. Professional job this time. We learnt from
close in
Xhaka's
Jan.
red.
Was it not Gabriel?
Oh, do you mean Jan last year? It was the Gabriel red. Yeah, we did come close. I agree. All right, Frank. Thank you so much. We're going to get Laurie to join us now
Arsenal.
for the second half of the show. Bang on 30 minutes. Wow, what a host I am. Hit the like button if you think I'm joking. No one will hit the like button. We're going to get our next caller just as Laurie gets set up on FanZone on the full-time show. Who is our next caller? Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
Super Mika Teta. Sorry, I just I want to sing his praises because I think the way he listened about Rice in the 8th position, and I actually think Havertz did so well today because he had less pressure from like coming on as a sub, and I think Arteta has got to take his owner's advice as well in regards to Raya. I don't think he should start the next game. I think he should be fair and give Ramsdale a shot because I think Ramsdale's done really, really well in the 2 games he's played this season. So, I'm just so happy. I think, like, he learned, like, from Liverpool as well last year about, Cine. I was a bit scared when I saw Doku came on, and I was like, oh my god. Then he brought on Tomiyasu, just had him in his pocket, and in regards to that game as well, I think there was pretty much the same situation when Xhaka made that foul on Trent, I think, and like the game just turned around. I think this is kind of what happened today as well. It just got the Emirates completely like rocking, and
yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, Laurie, for all the negatives of PGMOL and the referees not sending off Kovacic, where he deserved to go off twice, by the way, it would have galvanised the Emirates. I think everyone would have seen at half-time, the players included, what happened, and the complete and utter injustice from the referees, and thought, we'll do it ourselves. What's that? Do you like Avengers?
No, I'm actually not a big Marvel fan.
Fair enough. The comments, some of you will know. It's that Thanos moment where he puts on the glove and he goes, fine, I'll do it myself. It felt like that from Arsenal. They went, all right, we won't get any of your help. You won't do your jobs properly, and we'll still beat you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what I would say as well, it's a big day for Mikel Arteta, not just because he got the win, but I think tactically he outdid so I nearly said Arteta. He outdid Pep today. He got the substitutions right. I mean, he brought Havertz on when a lot of people were looking at each other thinking, what? Really? And he provided the assist. So everything went well. But I think the main thing that I take from today's win is not just the fact that we beat City and we've overcome this ridiculous hoodoo that's been going on since 2015. I think Arteta was still a player the last time we beat them. Yeah. Despite all of that, what I take from today is that we have shown that we are genuine title contenders. And we are going to be there or thereabouts come to the end of the season. And let's be honest as well, it's a bad day for City today because, it's back-to-back defeats.
Very bad day. Do you believe we're genuine title contenders?
Yeah, I think so. I think that actually, when I saw like the first couple of games this season, I thought that, I don't know, maybe we're like, because we have Champions League as well and we're going to be tired and stuff, but I actually think this is an improvement. It could be an improvement on last season, the way that we're just so professional about these wins. We're about control. We're about not just like we're like the performance, but actually just like getting over the line. And I think this was a really brilliant example of this because we saw how well we played at the Emirates last season against City, and we lost that game. I think today showed that we can win these games, and I think it was just brilliant. Yeah.
I agree. I'm going to ask you a very weird question to finish this fantastic call off. And just because if this is true and someone has recognised you, this would be incredible. Someone's asking if you are a retired League of Legends player.
No, that's not.
Fine.
I'm not good at League of Legends, but
fair enough. Anyway. I thought I'd ask because if he spotted you, that would have been unbelievable. But fair enough. What was your name again? Sorry, you did say.
Oscar.
Oscar, pleasure to meet you, man.
Up Denmark and have a great night.
Thank you so much. You've been fantastic. We'll see you soon.
Okay, take care, bro.
And our next caller is.
Hey guys,
how are you, my friend?
Hey.
Very good. How are you? It's been a while. Has it been a while?
Yeah, it's been a while. Been busy.
Don't blame me.
But great to be back on.
Am I right in thinking you have a young child? Am I right in thinking? No,
I don't. Luckily, not yet.
That was a different caller. Apologies, because
Hey, you'll have the CSA coming after him soon.
Because I was going to say, celebrating like that in front of a newborn, I imagine, would have been absolute carnage.
God, yeah.
But how was it? Talk me through that moment, right? That ball goes into the back of the net. I called my brother after the watch along. He was there with my dad. He said it was just pandemonium in the Emirates. He've never seen anything like it. How must it? I mean, how was it for you? Talk us through it.
Oh, honestly, it was emotional. Just, I think, how long it's been, obviously, since we've beaten Man City and some of the games we've had in the past. It's been very tough to watch. And then, obviously, a few seasons ago with the whole red card, we were on top, and then Man City snatched it in kind of injury time.
Yeah.
There's been so many close times as well for us. But I was over the moon, literally jumping nearly the minute the goal went in. And as you said, the whole Thanos thing, it was like a Martinelli thing. Fine, I'll do it myself, and goes and scores, type of thing.
You know the reference. You know the reference.
Yeah, exactly.
I just love the way Arsenal kept concentration throughout. Because I think they played this game in a way they haven't played previous big games. You think Tottenham away in the run into the Champions League, Man City at the Etihad, where they've almost gone man for man press all over the pitch. We're just going to outdo you physically, play our football, and I believe in our way. Arsenal showed a concentration. I think played with the mentality of, if we draw, yes, Arsenal fans might think missed opportunity or whatever, but we got to look at the bigger picture. Nothing is won and lost here, but a loss would set us back mentally massively. And so when you stay in the game, you always have a chance. The beauty of football, and there you go.
Yeah, well, myself and Javi actually were messaging throughout the game today, and like we said, I think it was, we needed the goal firstly. We needed to score the goal first, because especially in the first couple of minutes, you had obviously Raya looked very shaky, looked like he wasn't up for the occasion. We were lucky not to concede. Yeah. And then obviously the whole red card incident, which I'm sure many people will talk about. I honestly don't know with TGMOL anymore. I really don't know how referees, and it seems to be a pattern with Michael Oliver with us. There's always weird decisions here that go for us and go against us. I don't know really anymore.
Did you watch the Liverpool-Brighton game earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Did you see Liverpool got a penalty for a foul on? I can't remember. I think it was Szoboszlai, and then there was a foul on Diaz.
Yeah.
I was just wondering why they didn't give two penalties.
Oh, honestly, just.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's a precedent they've set, but hey ho. Go on.
It's one of these things. I think with referees, we're never going to be happy with them anymore, because I just think the standard has really gone down the drain. I think VAR, there's still question marks on how they use it correctly, how they don't use it correctly. Like, I think the whole Kovacic thing, how he stayed on the pitch, puzzles everyone. I think even other fans were saying it. But I'm happy boy. We still got the win in the end. We didn't take that. I think the whole incident reminded me of when Liverpool against us, when I think it was Trent had a thing, the Anfield crowd kind of rose and Liverpool played better and got a result. And then I think it was the same kind of thing for us. It kind of pushed our fans, got the players going, and we got the result in the end.
Completely and utterly agree, mate. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I believe you were talking to Javi before the game, right?
Yeah, it was.
We've got Javi next. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
Javi, how are you?
Guys, I'm doing all right. Pretty good. I'm pretty
Go on, let it out, Javi.
Never in doubt, boys. Never in doubt.
No, listen. Actually, always interested in your thoughts from a tactical perspective. What did you think when the 11 came out? Because we were more deflated once we saw the 11.
Mate, so I was out yesterday until like 3-4 a.m. or whatever, and alarm goes off. I look at that 11, and I kid you not, I was like, should I go back to sleep? Or like that was rough to see that 11. I was very surprised to see that he went with Eddie up top as well. and not try to have. I would have expected, to probably put Trossard, who's perhaps I think easily our best finisher and our best goal scorer. I'm surprised he didn't put Trossard down the middle, Jesus down the right, and Reece Nelson, who can give you that outlet and that pace, to combat with Walker on the left hand side. I think that's what I was expecting. But I don't think Eddie was the reason we won today, if I'm honest with you. But it was enough to at least, keep them contained. And I think really it was more about our defensive solidity today that actually allowed us to get this win.
He then makes a few changes. Martinelli comes on at half-time, which I thought was an inspired change. But then crucially, Partey, Tomiyasu, Havertz, all 6'2" plus, all physically imposing players. Even if Havertz isn't the strongest, he at least gets involved. And suddenly, a little bit of long ball, a nod down, a roll, and a set, what do you call it? A setup from Havertz into Martinelli. The 4 subs combined.
Yeah, it looks like a genius with that, doesn't it? But it was interesting as well how he had Tomiyasu making very, very deep runs as well. Clearly that was part of the game plan, sort of to get it to Havertz and Tomiyasu and use their aerial ability to sort of win those second balls. So that was definitely very, very purposeful, because you wouldn't expect Tomiyasu to get that far up, especially when you would expect them to be more so as a defensive substitution to keep Doku contained. So it's interesting how Arteta went for it, and you got to give him credit for that, because I think he understood that 3 points at home, if you want to beat City for this league title, is crucial. And so sending him up there instead of wanting to just keep him for defensive solidity, I think is a big call, and it paid. So credit to Arteta for that. Yeah,
agreed. Has this changed how you feel about the title race, or hasn't it at all? Because it's a big psychological moment.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was already mentally prepared for the league to be done in October. And with us winning today, it's definitely opened up the opportunity where it's definitely in the cards now. So I'm much more optimistic than I was, just yesterday alone or even this morning. But again, it's about carrying on. This is a 38-game, competition. And so beating City at home is crucial, because that's a 6-point swing in the league in the league table. If they win those 3 points, at the end of the table, that's 3 less for them and 3 more for us. We lost the league title last season by 4 points. That 3-point swing would have been enough, because it's 3 points less for them, 3 points more for us. We win the league by 2. And so that's crucial. But the dropping points at home against Fulham and scraping by on wins against Nottingham Forest, that needs to be a thing of the past now. And hopefully with some of our key players returning from injury, we can see a much more solid Arsenal side in both defense and attack moving forward.
I hope you're right. Laura, you were going to say something?
Yeah, Xavi, hey, how you doing, bro? I must say, first up, I share your optimism. I do think today was a very pivotal one in terms of, projecting forward and are we genuine title contenders. But I just wanted to ask you very briefly, the goalkeeping situation. I think it's fair to say that Raya didn't have his best day today. Even though we've had a very good win, right? After the international break is over, we play Chelsea away from home. Would you make a change to the goalkeeping situation for the Chelsea game?
Yes.
Fair question.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because it was, you can easily make the argument that it is so far in performances alone. And everyone wants to point to clean sheets, and I'll tell you right now, a plank of wood could have gotten a clean sheet against Everton and PSV.
I like that one.
It makes me laugh, man, because as soon as I come on, he starts laughing. So I just
I do see where you're coming from with that. Yeah, I like it.
But I think there is much more merit in dropping Raya for Ramsdale than when we dropped Ramsdale for Raya. Much more merit in that. And this is, people can say that perhaps we're looking at Raya under a microscope for his mistakes, but I think we're just trying to hold him to the same standard that Arteta was apparently holding Ramsdale to, and that he's expecting of both these goalkeepers. And here's something that really upsets me as well, because I think you both know that I'm not okay with this transfer. But if Raya's number one, then say Raya's number one. But don't give me that BS about how you want it to be competitive and how you want these guys to push each other and how you're treating the goalkeeper position like every other position. If that's what you want to do, listen, football has changed in many, many ways. Just a couple of years ago, you would have told the average English fan that a goalkeeper needed to play with his feet, and he would have called you a communist. And so, that's the game. The game changes, and I'm fine with that. But if that's the truth, then back up your word. Be a man of your word. Drop Raya, because Ramsdale, as of right now, so far this season, in terms of distribution, all-around play, I would argue has been better. And in a very, very important game like that, when he was looking that shaky and that nervy, I have to ask, why are we perhaps going to have to be coughing up 30 million for a slightly, maybe marginal, more calming on the eye goalkeeper? I don't know.
That's
I
fair.
think there's more areas on this pitch that needs to be addressed instead of that.
I think it's a fair point.
Can't argue with that.
No.
I mean, to be fair to Raya, he had a better second half, but
Second half was significantly improved, I felt, distribution-wise.
But the first half, I've got to say, man, there were some very nervy moments.
Yeah. He started to find Jesus on the outball. And you know what? We haven't spoken about Jesus enough on this show yet. Javi, for you, Jesus out on the right, I just thought, even though he wasn't always getting the better of his man, just his work rate was unreal. Ball retention, winning balls aerially. There was that little feint he did from across to the back post where he looked like he was going to take his touch inside, but then sent him the other way. I thought he was superb.
He was inspired today. It almost seemed to me as if he was looking at that game and showing City and say, look, man, this is why, you know what I mean, I was that good player at City. Now look at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, he was definitely inspired today, and I think he had a phenomenal game. And I think that really this points to the main difference between him and Eddie, that even when he doesn't get on the score sheet, he can influence the game in so many ways. And also something that has been lacking this year and what made us so good, James, I think you and I, we had recognized it last year in preseason, that when him and the likes of Martinelli and Saka or even Trossard play, because of his ability to play in the wide areas, it gives us that much more fluidity and interchanging, and that's just very difficult to mark. I think with Eddie, we're sort of a bit more stagnant in that sense.
Agreed.
And something today that I noticed that, those Phil Foden runs, even though the passes weren't going to him, people tracking that run opened up so much space to actually be able to play the ball in between the lines. And that's something that, we usually don't see enough of from our own team. Many times we get into the final third and everyone just has their back to goal, just waiting for the ball at the feet. Sometimes those little runs even in behind, even though if you know that you're not going to be receiving it, if one defender tracks you, that's an extra little bit of space that is created, and you can go ahead and exploit that. And so I think when you have that constant interchanging between Jesus and the wingers who can, interchange among them, trying to constantly switch and mark them and follow them around, you just open up so much more space. And I think that Eddie, unless he's this incredible, physical presence who can bully defenders and roll off them, which he's done at times, doesn't do it enough to be able to continuously merit a starting position down the middle of the park. I'd rather have someone like Trossard or Jesus, who's more of a false nine, and combines and interchanges with our wingers to just keep defenders on their toes. And I think that is a big part of the lack of fluidity we have in the final third.
After that last 20 minutes, I think I'd rather have it up top right now. But
not so sure about that.
We'll explore that another day. Yeah. Javi, always a pleasure. Thank you, man. Go enjoy your international break. We'll see you on the Fan Zone full-time show.
For sure. I won't be as much of a miserable bastard for these upcoming weeks. So, Laura, I know you're gonna miss me. I know you're gonna.
Hey, listen.
You've been a ray of sunshine today.
But you know what? I'm going to keep it 100 here. Your call is one of the ones that I most look forward to. And that's not showing any disrespect to anybody. I love all the callers, but there are certain calls that as soon as I see their name come up, I think, this is going to be a good one. And you're one of those guys. So respect you, man.
I appreciate that, man. I enjoy speaking to you as well. You're very eloquent. And I can tell you're also a very intelligent, knowledgeable guy by your vernacular and vocabulary. So it's always good talking to you as well. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Always a pleasure chatting to Javi. He called you intelligent, though. I'm not I'll check.
I don't get called that often, but hey, I'll take it, man. You know what I mean?
No, and rightly so. Look, some fantastic debates and discussions there around Raya Ramsdale. I think he's right.
I think
Ramsdale was dropped for less than what Raya's done.
No, that was a great point. I mean, I wanted to ask him that because in the subplot of what's happened, it's kind of easy to, I'm not saying wash over it, but not to focus on that. But I did think that was something that is worth exploring, because you've got to be honest and say, with the evidence of the last 2 or 3 games, Raya has not been off the standard that we thought he would be. I mean, the first couple of games he played, what struck me about Raya was that he looked so confident. And that confidence was kind of showing throughout the team. But in the first half of today's game, the reverse was almost the case.
I agree. He looked completely Yep, agreed. 10 minutes to go of the show, so we're going to get as many callers in as possible. We really want to hear more of your thoughts. Thank you to everyone who has been calling in. Thank you to everyone who's downloading the AFTV Plus app to have their say. I'm loving it. There's nothing better than a big win and just basking in it with all the fans. Who is our next caller? Hey, how you doing again, mate? Remind me of your name. I know we spoke the other day. Geronimo, yes. And you had your list of notes.
Yeah, I have my black book of rants. This is my green
notebook of, I don't know if you can see it. It says hope.
I love it. Hey, look at that. I love that. Go on, take us through the list.
Yeah, I mean, Rice is a midfield general. Like I was just watching the game with a friend of mine who isn't an Arsenal fan, and I think it's like the first time he watches a full Arsenal game, and he was in awe of Declan Rice. I mean, he's just everywhere. He's so good, so good. And Gabriel Jesus, what a player! What a player! What a player! I mean, he's kind of like a fetish player. I swear to God.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, he just
keep it clean now.
Joy to watch him. It just brings pleasure to watch him.
No, that's true, actually.
I get what you mean. He is a born entertainer, isn't he? Like, he is a pure footballer. And I'm talking FUTBOL. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, street football, like, he'll get involved in anything. He'll jump higher than you. He'll go right foot, left foot. He'll chop in. He'll cut
His
out. He'll run at you, control. He works so hard. He's one of, if not my favourite player in the squad. Like, just as a pure entertainer.
Yeah, I think so.
He was sensational today.
I think Havertz was really good. I mean, there was one before his assist where he laid it off to Odegaard, and Odegaard should have laid it back to him.
Yes, you're right. That's a very good point. He did. He was. You know what? Someone needs to make a comp. I need to see that little cameo.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I think he was really good. For me, he's the second striker ahead of Eddie. For me.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't like him in the midfield. The Community Shield, we saw him up top. He did good. Today, he also did good. For me, Arteta's making a mistake there. And maybe it's because Partey was injured. So let's see how with Partey our midfield stands up. Raya, first half, poor first half. Second half, I don't know what Arteta said to him, but like I was looking at everything, and each long ball to Jesus, it was on point, right on the foot.
Yeah,
and
second half much better. I can't even speak. Second half much better. Yes.
Yeah, and today we won the game. Here in Colombia, we have a saying, you win it just with cojones, and we just beat them in that. I mean, we ran more than them, we pressed more than them, we beat them with cojones. I mean, it's.
I agree. I think that's a very good point, because if you actually look at the possession stats and stuff like that, they're very similar. But where we did come out on top, obviously we got the goal, but in terms of shots on target, shots created, I think it was something like 12-4. Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't our fluid best, but I do think we were worthy winners.
If there was a game to beat City, it was this one at home, without Rodri, without De Bruyne, without John Stones. It was this game, and we did it. We did it, lads.
I agree. There was an opportunity there, and we took it. Geronimo, we got a few other callers we want to get in, but big thank you for joining us as always, man. And keep those notes coming. We'll look back on them at the end of the season.
Big up, man.
Always a pleasure, Geronimo. Who's our next caller? Hey, how you doing, mans?
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, because I know you hold Arsenal to a certain standard, which I absolutely appreciate and agree with. But they had to do something different today to both weather City and also get the win. How do you reflect on today's performance?
I thought it was a tactical game. I thought I almost feel like subconsciously the entire season this season we've been preparing for that 8th game. So that's why we've not seen as much fluid football. We've seen a bit of conservative football up till now, where we have to ask questions. Why is the tempo not the same? Why is Arsenal not playing as fluid? I think Arteta is just developing and was coming up with another system to beat teams, especially Man City, because I think at the moment we cannot. Although we did almost play the way they did. But we do have to lower the tempo in our game a little bit when we play them. We have to be slightly more defensive. We have to be slightly more conservative in the way we play, and that's why I feel like the way we've been playing up till now, that's kind of been that's kind of been a preparation almost for this game. And what I hope happens is after we come back from the international break, that fluid football comes back, especially because we've got a few away games, and I do think we play better away than at home. Yeah. So that's my hope. That's my hope after the international break. But I thought it was a good. Do you know what? The one thing, there's not many things I detest in football, but one of the things I cannot stand is cowardly football.
Yeah.
But to be fair, both teams were cowards today. Do
you think?
It's like they were fearing each other, and I can understand why. I'm not complaining because we did win, but I just felt like in the second half, I've never spoken so much during the game. I was commentating the whole game. It's just unbelievable, and I was just saying, please, just be slightly more brave up front. That's all I was asking. Take a bit more risk. And then I've seen Martin Odegaard a few times. You can lay the ball out to the right, to the left, and then he takes a shot that from far away. I know he's good at his shots from far away, but in the end we got a win. I think Kai Havertz had his 2 best games against Man City. The 2 best games for Arsenal he's played were actually both against Man City, in my opinion.
Very true.
So,
but you know what? That is a very interesting point, because I said something similar on the watch along when I described that first half. It was like having 2 boxers, very respectful of each other's punch, just probing, but not too much was happening.
They feared us as well, you know.
Yeah.
They were fearing us a little bit.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I don't really have a big problem with Raya's game in the first half, not as much as everybody else anyway. There was that one moment where he made me slightly angry when Alvarez almost scored. That was so lucky. Any other day that flies in the net. Mm-hmm. But I think he was nervous. It was his first big game for a big club against Man City as well. So, but I think overall he's been all right as well. He didn't. I
think there was an occasion though where he came for the ball. I'm not sure if it was the first half or early in this. I think it was the first half. Remember that one? They put a ball over and he came for it. Oh yeah, and he missed it completely. Yeah. And I was like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Flappy moments. Yeah.
In terms
second half, he was better though. He was better.
Yeah. In terms of how long our goalkeepers take on the ball, and sometimes Raya is just there steady on the ball, and we were like, come on, pass it to someone, and he just stays with the ball. I think that's what Arteta tells them to do. Don't be scared. If a mistake happens, I won't blame you, but you do have to play out from the back. And the whole first half, we're learning how to come out from the back against this team because they were pressing us a lot in the first half.
I agree.
Second half, they just came so cautious. They've done nothing in the second half.
No, they did nothing. One shot they had in that second half. City.
And if we drew 0-0, I would have said it's a deserved 0-0 draw, and we were 1-1-0, and I say it's a deserved 1-0 win. So if there's anything that would have happened.
If you play a game about which relies on fine margins, you're going to be a bit more reserved, but you're hoping the fine margins go your way. Then you say the tactical plan worked. If it's a 0-0, you're uninspiring. People will go, "Why didn't you give it more of a go?" And that is just the fine lines of football.
I'm glad it went our way, because I would have been that putrid referee. These referees,
they're rubbish.
They're all awful, man. He could have cost us. We don't know what happens if we were with 11 men against 10, because we've seen Tottenham the other week not being able to beat 9 barely on the last minute. So
it's true, it's true.
But that was a red card. I've heard they were kicking off at the end as well. I didn't see it. I was too busy celebrating.
Whatever makes them feel better. Man, it's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure, guys.
Nice one, bro. Thank you very much.
Right, we're going to get our final 2 callers. Apologies, we're going to be a little bit quicker than normal, but we definitely want to get some of your thoughts anyway, so let's get them in. Who is our final 2? Well, it's Mr. Aston, of course. How you doing?
Hey, what's good, buddy? Listen, little upset with y'all right now. Little upset.
Okay, go for it.
Go on.
Yeah, let me explain why, right? Because I love your opinions. I love your opinions. But right now, I need your passion. We just beat treble-winning, greatest manager of all time, Manchester City, and we made it look easy. They have the greatest goal scorer of this era, but he met Big Gabby, and he met Wild Bill, and they got shut up. Manchester City were out there playing StarCraft football, you know what I mean? Not enough minerals. We bought Declan Rice to make sure we had the steal in the midfield. We brought on Gabriel Martinelli off the bench. He's not a boy anymore. He's not even a man. He's a monster. Even Kaiser Solse did his thing. Come on. Where is the energy? Where is the passion? We just had our biggest win of the season, and you guys are just going to sit there in your chairs.
But you know what?
Camera only sees.
Listen, we are
party, but there's only so much you'll see.
I think. Listen, today was a great day for the club. Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yeah, but we do need to temper it a little bit, because hear me out. It's not a season-defining win in terms of we beat City, so we're going to win the title. What to me does is say, yeah, we're here as genuine title contenders. Because we have to be honest, man. I mean, City are not playing at their best. I mean, last week they got beat by Wolves. And when they got beat by Wolves, it wasn't like it was a shot in the dark and Wolves got a lucky win. Wolves were the deserved winners. So perhaps we're playing a team that's not in their best run of form right now. We do have to take that into consideration. But like I said, for me, the main thing I take from today is that we have arrived this season as genuine title contenders.
Laurie, I need you to take a step back because you're right and you're wrong, right? Like, okay, I understand the context that's going to go on around this, but the reality is well, I always say, listen, that team on the pitch, it's ready to win that league. Mikel Arteta, he's ready to win the league. But are fans ready to win the league? After last week, after the North London Derby, I was told City was going to be 8 points ahead of us by now. I was told the league was done. Yeah. We need to have more chest, have more faith. Those boys on the pitch have earned our faith, and we need to start acting like it. Start having swagger about your team. We are the Arsenal. I almost swore that it was close, but we are the Arsenal.
Aston, you're so right. I will say on the preview, we were trying to get Cecil up for it. We were saying we're predicting a win. We stuck by it. We both still predicted a win.
We did.
And I'm with you, man. I've got energy for this team. I've predicted us to win the league, and I've predicted us to beat City today. One has come true. My word, I hope I go 2 for 2. I also predicted Saka, Partey style. That didn't come true. So let's just ignore that one. But I'm with you. I got chest for this team. They deserve it.
And it was also pivotal that we beat City without Saka as well. As much as I love Saka, the fact that we've beaten them without possibly our best player, that says a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Jim, you know I back you, and me and you are buds, and I love your opinions, even though you did say today, and you didn't even stutter when you said that Gabriel Jesus would do anything better in the middle than Kai Havertz, and that's wild, but it's okay. We had
no. I meant in that 15-minute cameo from Havertz, he did
out of here. Stop.
He did everything we'd have expected Jesus to do: run the channels, win your duels, bring players into play, set it up for Martinelli. Created a chance for Odegaard.
You didn't watch that whole game. You didn't watch Gabriel Jesus that whole game do absolute magic. Do things, hold up half the ball when he shouldn't have.
I gave him man of the match. I gave Jesus man of the match.
This is why Kai Havertz wouldn't be able to touch him down the middle. Granted, I want to give Kai his credit. I am a huge.
He's very good.
I want Kai Havertz to know. I want you to prove me wrong. I want to be mudded. I want to be absolutely incorrect because I believe in my manager and I believe that you've shown me a little something. But the greatest trick the devil ever did, right, Kaiser Solse, was convince you that he wasn't real. And maybe Kai Havertz is the real deal. Maybe I'm wrong, but right now that's a terrible opinion, and I refuse to believe it came out of your mouth.
Hey, listen, all I know is he went up top. He got us an assist. We won the game.
What I would say is that aesthetically, they're two different players.
We're completely different. But I agree. Yeah. Aston, listen, you've fueled the fire, and I believe I had fire, but you've definitely fueled more fire within us.
Great call.
Always.
Great call.
Aston, always a pleasure, man, and we'll talk more soon. Oh, and
he was coming for you, bro.
Oh, they just that was at you. That was at you. Apparently, we have got a final 2 callers, so apologies, it is going to be quick as I mentioned, but let's get them in. Who have we got? Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Is he? He's shouting, but he's quieter than everyone else. What's your name?
Listen, guys, listen. This is not us winning the league today. It's just we just realized today that we have what it takes to becoming the champions today. So first of all, in the first half, we played with a handbrake on, like Arsene Wenger would always say. The support was flat from our fans. But at the end of the day, in the second half, it was just overly different. We ran them off the park. We finally got their number, just like James said before. I actually felt sorry for Robbie and Gunnar yesterday during the Superfan debate. You know, I heard them speaking, but I didn't see the confidence in them that we're going to win the game today. Of course, Robbie is always optimistic and, a stand-up guy, amazing person and all of that. But I didn't see that optimism. But today, man, let me tell you for free, I was watching the game in church. I'm from Houston, Texas. I couldn't even concentrate at all, but it was totally worth it. But let me tell you also that the referee in the Premier League is a total disgrace.
Oh man, that's
Complete disgrace.
shocking.
Utter disgrace. Like
Shocking.
It's shocking. Imagine Kovacic made it through the 67th minute. He would have already been sent off, and the game would have been a different game completely. You know, I knew that as far as Martinelli, I knew he would show up today. It was a massive compensation for missing out on Saka. And also the attacking options of Manchester City with Alvarez, Haaland, and the likes, they weren't there. It's not a joke, but it's just like Arteta really came out today with the best formation, and it really worked. The second half, we took a lot of more risk, but we found out that that Rico guy was going into the pocket right behind right behind Rice. But we were still able to cut that out, which was a very, very good thing. So let me say it right now: City really missed Kevin De Bruyne today and Rodri, but we leveraged that and we really showed up. And finally, Raya needs to realize that he plays for the Arsenal now, no longer Brentford, because he made a lot of mistakes today. And I would think that what happened with Ramsdale started towards the beginning of the last international break. So I feel like this international break that we are going into now, after the international break, we should bring back Ramsdale to the team. I mean, it's very, very important, not only for his confidence and for the whole, Arteta already promised.
I agree on the goalkeeping thing.
Yeah,
because if we're talking about a meritocracy here, you've got to say in the last couple of games, Raya has not been of, the standard that we were holding Ramsdale to.
No, I agree.
So, I agree with that.
Mate, absolute pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Catch you soon.
Nice
and our next and final caller of the day to wrap up what's been a lively full time. Of course. How are you, my friend? There you go. There it is.
James, Laurie, how are you?
Very good. Although it's quieter in my headphones. I don't know if that's just me, but carry on. I can hear you. Carry on.
Three things about this wonderful win against Man City. Number one, this is for Javi. I love you, Javi. You're eloquent. You're, erudite in your tactics and, and Arsenal acumen. But I noticed a player was out there for a big match, and he supplied the first ball for Tomiyasu, which eventually won the match, and his name is Thomas Partey.
What a pass.
Yeah, it was a great pass. I must admit, I was very disappointed that he didn't start this game. Because when I saw Jorginho in there, I kind of got, and listen, I don't want to discredit Jorginho in any way, but I kind of associate Jorginho with when we're trying to shore games up and keep it safe. So to me, when I didn't see Partey in the starting 11, I'm like, oh, is this tactical? Does this mean he's going to be conservative? And I think we were a little conservative, especially in that first half. So yeah, I'm with you, Partey, man, all day.
Final thoughts. We've got to round off the show, but go on. What do you want to say about this win, man? Because it's big.
Number two, Haaland finally ran into the Bermuda Triangle of Rice, Saliba, and Gabriel, and all he came up with was spare parts. And, number three, Kovacic, listen, I think, and I dare say this, and I may fall foul with the powers that be, but I think Kovacic stayed on the pitch because the bettors didn't want the match to end with 11-10 because, listen, in any other scenario, he is off pitch. He is gone. However, being a big match, and there's a lot of money riding on this, I'm saying he's staying on the pitch. That's all I got to say. But, again,
it was bizarre.
Defensive masterclass.
Shall I tell you what was so strange about that one? So the first tackle, he could arguably, in fact, more than arguably, he should have gone for the first one. That was a straight red, right? But the amazing thing is, he does the second challenge almost identical to the first one. So even if they booked him for the first one, don't forget. So at the very least, he should get a booking for the second one, which makes it a no-brainer that he's off. And yet he stayed on the pit. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, they won.
Absolutely. It wound everybody up. It did.
One word, yes or no, we're winning the league.
Put him on the spot there.
Love it. I've said yes. You? One word, yes or no?
I wish I could say yes, but I'm saying, listen, today was seismic in terms of potential winners. We proved today that we are genuine title contenders.
Well, let's hope
we had to win one match. I said it, remember, the last time I was here, I said we had to win one match against Man City.
And we've done it. Fantastic. Always a pleasure. We'll see you next time. In a bit.
Take care. Thank you very much, bro.
Guys, go enjoy your wins. Go enjoy what was a fantastic day for Arsenal. And by the way, I'm not just talking a fantastic day in terms of us beating Man City, which is obviously the headline, but the fact that actually Newcastle, a team that got in the top 4 last season, dropped more points at West Ham. The fact that Brighton and Liverpool shared the points as well. Arsenal sit behind only Tottenham on goal difference. Yeah. And that is a credit to... Listen, the start of the season, they've had 6 wins and 2 draws in the first 8. When you think we played Man United at home, Tottenham at home, Everton away, and Man City at home, I think you absolutely take that return.
Absolutely.
So well done.
And another thing that's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, City have dropped 6 points in their last 2 games.
Yeah.
2 back-to-back defeats.
And a defeat in Newcastle, so 3 defeats in their last 4.
Yeah. So
imagine if that were Arsenal. That's what we'd be saying. But of course, treble winners, credit in the bank, all that. Everyone, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Well done to the Arsenal. What a fantastic win. Well done. Absolute round of applause. Well done to all the fans who've jumped in and given some amazing thoughts and insight on all of it. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love these shows more than ever.
Can I just say as well, in closing, is that there's a lot of people, I'm not going to name names, who tend to throw at AFTV, oh, you only get views and you only get likes and you only get people ring up when you lose. Well, actually, today it's been phenomenal. And the amount of people that's rang in today, the amount of engagement on social media, and that's off the back of a great win. And look, so
and
all that stuff about people only interested when we lose, nonsense.
And I can't wait to see when I watch the fan cams what the crowd must have been like out there, because I bet it was amazing. Everyone, you've been fantastic. Oh no, sorry. I was about to round up, but we've got some super chats I didn't read, and I absolutely need to get these out. So just very quickly. AT Football says, can you imagine if Xhaka made the tackle Kovacic did? Yep, he's off. Ricky says, James, honest question. I'm not biased like Sesson and Lee, but shouldn't Ramsdale start now given Rice's performance? Yes, I think if Arteta's true to his word, like Javi said, then Ramsdale starts next game. Abdullah says, best 3 substitution decisions Arteta has ever made. I agree. All 4 subs contributed to that winning goal. Seyram says, that 1-0 does so much more good than a 3-2 or a 2-1. I completely agree as well. Cesar says, how do you think rival fans feel about us having Saliba? It's looking scary, but not for us. Simon says, oh, I didn't think you'd be back after giving up last week. Who are you talking about? I never gave up. Giuseppe says, back passes killed me, but what a goal by Kai, Tom and Gab. Agreed. Peter Clever says, Ramsdale conceded 7 goals last season against City. Ramsdale's only conceded 0 so far. Let's give the man a break. And Ahmed says, Raya will win the league for us. So there you go. A few different opinions on the goalkeeping situation. Everyone, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. We'll see you next week for another Fan Zone.
We're not competing with you for the league. We're competing with Liverpool. You're in the top 4 debate. You're closer to Spurs than City this season. You're closer to Spurs than City.
You see, you're getting too cocky now. You're getting too carried away. I used to see every City fan say, I don't care about the Champions League. Every City fan, boo!
It's true.
Boo! Now, we won the treble. Winning the league without losing is a better achievement than the 100 points. The pleasure it gives me as an Arsenal fan to know that despite all the money you spent, I know it burns. Shut up every Arsenal fan. Wait a minute.
That shuts everyone up.
Shut up every Arsenal fan by doing it.
Henry or Aguero?
Come on. Your missus is watching the Premier League because of Thierry Henry. Looking forward to that day you hear.
You can't.
We've come to repossess those trophies.
It's a Sunday police. Yo.
Right?
Can you imagine if they won the treble and we were saying
I'd be humble.
Oh my God.
Oh my days. You keep talking about the gold trophy. We're talking about the achievement. Have you got one in your house? Wait, forget. Have you got a little toy one in your house?
Go get a Kinder Egg from Tesco. Get one in it. You end up with t-shirts like that, treble. Yeah? Treble.
Give me those.
Calm down, Win.
We've got a harpoon for these sharks when they come here this week. It's about time we turn them over, and we're going to do it this week Sunday.